You to stay on with us. We're tracking more developments from the Middle East. We're now learning that the Israel Defense Forces have stated that the Israeli Air Force has intercepted a missile launched from Yemen. Earlier, sirens were sounded in several areas across central Israel, including in Tel Aviv. This comes as the conflict between Israel and the Houthis in Yemen is intensifying. Remember, just last week, the Houthi Prime Minister Ahmed Gharib al-Rahawi, along with other ministers, was killed in an Israeli strike. The Houthis have since raided the United Nations offices and have claimed responsibility for a missile attack on an Israeli-owned tanker in the Red Sea. Tensions continue to escalate as the Houthis are vowing retaliation after their prime minister's death. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has warned the Houthis that they will pay a heavy price for attacks on Israeli territory and shipping as well. Still with us on the broadcast is Mr. Bushback. What's interesting is that Israel's war is not just against Gaza, it's also against the Houthis. It was also against Hezbollah in Lebanon, and they've also attacked Syria. And of course, we've seen what happened with Iran a while back as well. But in the midst of all of this, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of international pressure that is mounting against Israel. There's talk of France and Belgium moving a resolution to recognize the state of Palestine at the UNGA that's going to be held later this month. Australia has also come out and stated that they will back this resolution, that they will be recognizing a state of Palestine. What, in your opinion, are the chances of this UNGA resolution being accepted, and would it really impact what is taking place on the ground?
Pia, first of all, with regard to the retaliation of Houthi, this is, I guess, the beginning, because Houthi, the ability of missiles and ballistic missiles, sorry, so it's more than what Benjamin Netanyahu is thinking. And when he waged the war against Iran, also we have seen as how much Tel Aviv got damaged from the Israelis, from Iranian missiles, and the Israeli defense, the Israeli iron defense system, how much failed during this phase of the conflict, and that during this a circle of confrontation between Iran and Israel. And there is no doubt about unification of the arena. But that this is the term that launched by the Iranian, and it's a proxy in Yemen, as well as Gaza, Syria, also Lebanon, also Iraq, as several of a proxy. So if it will be comprehensive fighting and comprehensive confrontation, it will be. So Benjamin Netanyahu, he want to keeping the fire in whole Israel and will leave. So the only solution, Benjamin Netanyahu, should reach to the deal with Hamas. Until this will not happen, Houthi will not stop the war and will not stop firing the missiles against Israel and to Israel. So it's very clear for Benjamin Netanyahu and for his coalition, for the Israeli community. We will hear a daily missiles, and with Israeli community, they will hear a daily sirens for the Houthis missiles, until analyst Benjamin Netanyahu is not going to end the war. The whole international community frustrated and outraged. It's very clear from even the actor. We consider them as a silence and a double standard with regarding the conflict and the war in Gaza, as well as in the comparing by Ukraine and Russia. But all the eyes nowadays, it's on Gaza and Yemen and all the Middle East area. Whatever happened, it will impact deeply Israel, and it will impact deeply Benjamin Netanyahu. Nowadays, Houthi, and by the way, Pia, the Israelis' attack on Yemen, it's considered as a violation for humans, for human rights. They are targeting civilians. What is the Israelis targeting? Targeting a power station in Yemen, fuel area in Yemen. They don't have any part of, they don't targeting any ability of Houthis with regard to missiles or any militant ability for the Houthis. Houthis still exist, and we will witness nowadays the Red Sea crisis again will rise up. So that will make the region, it's like over the powder pocket, and it's going to explode at any time. So it's a definitely, it's a terrible things. And as I told you, Houthi will not going to be silenced after assassinating the prime minister. By the way, prime minister, belongs to Sunni sect. It's not a Shia. So he's working with a Houthi, and he's not from their sect. It's a different, completely different from the Houthi sect. So there is an outrage in Yemen, and it become as a public and grassroots demand to retaliation, and Houthi will get supported from the grassroots. Also in Syria and Lebanon, Hezbollah is not going to lie its weapon, and which will make a more chaos in the area. Also, the fighting with Syrian Al-Julani's regime that will creating. I guess Al-Julani will not be maintaining his silence with Israeli violation. In Gaza, also there is a several of report Israel's they are losing a several of fighting and front in Gaza, like Zatoun, what happened, the Zatoun ambush and Khan Yunis ambush. There is a several of resistance. As there is an action, there is a resistance on the ground. So Benjamin Netanyahu, most of the Israelis soldier, they got injured and badly injured. They will fight in the community. They will suffering from the post-stress trauma. So this will create a chaos. And I guess Benjamin Netanyahu, he just only waging this war for his personal purpose, not for the Israelis' right to defend itself, as he claimed. And it's not about evil and good, as he claimed in the very beginning, as well as it's not for the maintaining the Israelis' power as in the Middle East. Israel is losing everything nowadays, and we have seen now the protest on the street in Jerusalem. This is the first time creating a chaos and fighting and making a ripple on the ground. It's incredible, and I guess what the Benjamin Netanyahu and Israeli regime used to disseminating on social media, on television, and on the historical, they are as a democratic country. Where's the democracy? If the community demand to end the war, where is the democracy?
Indeed, as you rightly mentioned, the situation is only becoming more volatile day by day. Mr. Bushbak, I'd like to thank you for taking out time, sharing your perspective on these crucial developments. We're now getting more information